May I proceed, Your Worship? This is case number D1414 of 2026. The court, Your Worship, is constituted as before, except we have one absentee, who is Mr. Pata, for choose number 2. But Mr. Peters is standing in for him. And Your Worship, today is on the road for the bail application of choose 1 and 3. We're ready to proceed, Your Worship. Can I pass the... I have managed, Your Worship, to put more papers for you. And,
I don't need all of them.
then we'll take them out once they are left. I think, Your Worship. Oh, Your Worship, further, I just want to also, I am joined by my colleague, Advocate Mata.
Thank you.
Your Worship, so that I didn't bring him to your chambers, Your Worship.
If you are able, you can...
Good morning, Bishop. I confirm my appearance on behalf of accused 1.
Good morning, Your Worship. I confirm my appearance on behalf of accused number 3.
May it please the court, Your Worship. I confirm that I appear on behalf of accused number 4 and that I am also indeed standing in for my colleague, Mr. Paffa, on behalf of accused number 2.
Thank you.
If we can proceed with the bail application for choose
Yeah,
1.
no,
Yes, sir.
we postponed yesterday for the application of applicants 1 and 3. What is the situation today? We postponed for purposes of the state verifying the addresses of the state applicants accused.
Your Worship, we have covered a lot of grounds. We are now fine, Your Worship.
Okay, and what is the situation? What is the stance of the state today?
We are not opposing the applications, Your Worship.
Thank you, Mr. Exton.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Sorry, your grounds.
Can I give them after they go at their case, Your Worship, then I will just put them on the
I
first.
just need to know, you
Oh.
indicated today that you're not opposing the use of the accused persons applicants. So I just need to, we just need to place on the record that
Yes,
you're
sir.
not opposing.
Thank you, Your Worship. Your Worship, they are the same as the other issues that we don't believe that they are affect this, and that since accused number 1 is already on a pension, and accused number 3, that is the applicant number 3, is on suspension already. So the chance of them interfering with our investigations is so limited. Some bail conditions will show some of the artifacts, of the concerns. Thank you.
Mr. Exton?
Thank you, Bishop. Bishop, we are ready to proceed. We have drafted an affidavit regarding this bail. I would hand the original signed one to the court. I have provided my learned friend with the state also with a copy of this, and then I can read it in and the court can also follow.
Because actually before you proceed, your client, accused on the what you just said, I need to explain to you the provisions of section 6011, capital B, that it is a duty on you to disclose any previous convictions of criminal cases. Failure to do so can result in you being charged with a conviction and sentenced to a fine of 2 years imprisonment. You understand this explanation?
Yes, I do.
And then if you elect to testify in this application, everything you say can later be used against you, and it will be admissible, at further proceedings. Do you understand this explanation? Thank you, Mr. Exton. You can proceed.
Thank you, Bishop. Bishop, this is a bail application under Schedule 5, where the onus rests on the accused to prove that it would be in the interest of justice that bail be granted. I'll start with the affidavit in support of the bail application. I, the undersigned, Imogen Mashazi, hereby declared under oath as follows. I am the applicant in the above-mentioned matter, a major female, age 65, with the following personal particulars and background. My identification number is 600717069084. I was born on the 17th day of July 2026. I am a South African citizen.
I think there's a mistake here. She can't be born on the 17th of July.
1960, sorry, Bishop. I see type 2026. My apologies, Bishop. Citizenship, I'm a South African citizen. Travel documents, I am the holder of a valid South African passport, passport number M00525920. This passport was issued on the 31st of March 2026 to me and will expire 30 March 2036. I am willing to hand the passport to the investigating officer to keep in safe custody till the matter is finalized in court, and I undertake not to apply for any travel document till this matter is finalized. Previous travel residence in foreign countries. During June 2026, I traveled to Dubai on a vacation for 5 days. During December 2025, I traveled to Dubai on a vacation for 7 days. I have no relatives residing outside the borders of South Africa, and I do not possess any assets outside the borders of South Africa. Personal background, I was born in Pretoria, South Africa. Schooling, I successfully completed matric in brackets grade 12 at Middleland Secondary School in South Africa in 1980. Tertiary and other trainings, I successfully obtained a 3-year diploma in nursing whilst working at the Baragwana Hospital Soweto in 1984. I thereafter successfully obtained a diploma in midwifery whilst working at Baragwana Hospital Soweto in 1985. I thereafter successfully obtained a diploma in clinical assessment and care whilst working at Baragwana Hospital Soweto in 1986. I also successfully completed and obtained a Bachelor of Nursing Science degree at UNISA in 1993. I also successfully completed and obtained a Master's degree in Nursing Science at Rand Afrikaanse University, the old RAU, now called the University of Johannesburg, in 1998. I also successfully completed and obtained a Doctorate of Philosophy, in brackets PhD in Nursing Education at UNISA 2002. Work history from 1981 till 1986, I was employed at Baragwana Hospital in the nursing profession. From 1987 to 92, I was employed at various clinics in Soweto, namely Marylands, Orlando, Diepkloof, Zola, Koosbeekers, Shuwelo, and others. From 1993 to 1999, I was employed in various clinics in the East Rand, brackets Ekurhuleni Metro area at Germiston, Boksburg and Springs. From 2000 to 2025, I was employed in the Ekurhuleni Metro firstly as the Divisional Head of Health and Social Development, later on the Head of the Department, and then became the Chief Operating Officer and City Manager till I retired in June 2025. General remarks regarding the background and permanency. I have been living in Brakpan in the Republic of South Africa for the past 24 years and have no plans or desire to relocate elsewhere. Current address, I reside at 124 Middle Road, Sonneveld Estate, Brakpan. I attach hereto a copy of the municipality rates and taxes invoice dated 2026/06/27, indicating that the property belongs to my husband and myself, marked NHA. Whilst I'm on this aspect, the state alleged that there are several other properties in my name, which they requested to follow up and confirm. I explicitly deny and challenge them to the proof thereof. My legal advisor was provided with a list which is so vague, but I am prepared to enlighten this honourable court as to what I know of the properties. The first property is alleged situated in Meyersdal Eco Estate. No address is provided. I can confirm that I leased the property for a period of 3 months in the Meyersdal Eco Estate from 1 April 2026 to 30 June 2026. The second property is allegedly situated in Bedford View. No address is provided. I have no knowledge of any property in my name or that I stayed in Bedford View before, whether it's on a lease contract or any other contract. The third property is allegedly situated in Waterval Estate. No address again is being provided. I can confirm that I leased a property for a period of 7 months in the Waterval Estate from 1 September 2025 to 31 March 2026. The fourth property is allegedly situated in Sunwood Park. No address is provided. I confirm that my husband and I were the owners of a property in Sunwood Park area, Boksburg, but this property was sold in 2000 and does therefore not belong to me as alleged. The sixth property is allegedly situated in Brakpan. No address is provided. I can confirm and only assume that this is my current residential address and property the state referred to. This address is also the address reflected on the J50 warrant for my arrest and also the municipality rates and taxes invoice and HA. The seventh property is allegedly situated in Mpumalanga province. No address is provided. I find it absolutely shocking that the state can make such a vague allegation and that they want me to even answer to this. All I can say is that I do not possess any property in the Mpumalanga province. I just wish to inform the Honourable Court that the reason why I stayed and leased the properties mentioned above was because of a result that I feared for my life. There were threats made to me personally, and I also noticed that strange motor vehicles were following me as I drove towards my home. I also have reported this to the SABC, but they were just not interested to assist me and just laugh it off as if I am imagining this. As a result of this, I decided to protect myself and my family and therefore stayed in different places. I'm, however, at this stage satisfied that the threat on me has disappeared and that I now can live peacefully with my children and others at the said address in Brakpan. I also want to place on the record that the investigating team confirmed my current address on the 8th of July 2026 with my children. The investigating officer, Sergeant Madinana, assisted one of my legal representatives in fetching clothes from my room at the said address, which was brought to me at Brooklyn SAPS, where I handed myself over. Marital status: I'm married in community of property with my husband Imogen Mashazi since 1992. Dependents: we have 3 children born from the marriage. The eldest is my daughter, Imogen Mashazi, 36 years of age, who is not dependent on us. The second born is my son Makabongwe Mashazi, 28 years of age, who resides with us and is dependent on us with his son Bushle, 2 years of age. The third born is my daughter Pumla Mashazi, with her daughter Shoki, 1 year and 8 months of age, who is dependent on me. Occupation, as mentioned in paragraph 1.4.4 above, I am a pensioner who retired from my profession in June 2025. Income: I receive a pension amount of approximately 33,000 rand per month. Other source of income: I've invested my retirement amount to the value of 5 million, on which I can withdraw the same amount of 33,000 rand per month if needed. Besides this, I do not have any other source of income. Assets: the house we reside in is bonded through Standard Bank and valued at approximately 4 million. The outstanding bond amount is approximately 3.3 million, and we pay an amount of 38,000 rand per month towards the bond. My husband also possesses an office block at the corner of Pritchard and Commissioner Street, Boksburg, and he is the title holder thereof to the value of approximately 3 million. I also possess furniture, clothing, electrical appliance, jewellery, etc. to the value of 3 million. My husband possesses a 2013 Bentley GTC motor vehicle valued at approximately 1.5 million. This vehicle is fully paid. My husband also possesses a 2017 Bentley Bentayga motor vehicle valued at approximately 2 million. This vehicle is also fully paid. My husband also possesses a 2022 Porsche Cayenne motor vehicle valued at approximately 1.5 million. This vehicle is also fully paid. I possess a 2023 BMW 760i motor vehicle valued at approximately 3 million. This vehicle is still under finance agreement with Investec, and I pay installment of 35,000 rand per month on it. I can afford to pay bail in a reasonable amount from my own funds. History of antisocial behavior. I have no previous convictions. I have no pending criminal matter against me. I declare that I have no knowledge of any outstanding warrants against me. I also declare that I am not currently out on parole in respect of any sentence I am to serve. And I further declare that I do not have any order against me as contemplated in Section 5 or Section 6 of the Domestic Violence Act of 1998, nor do I have any order against me as contemplated in Section 3 or Section 9 of the Protection from Harassment Act 2011, or any similar order in terms of any other law. Arrest and factual background. I was arrested on the 8th day of July at approximately 2300 hours at Brooklyn SABC Community Service Center, where I handed myself over after arrangements was made with my legal advisor. The offences charged with, I'm informed that I'm charged for fraud and corruption, but the investigating officer did not give me the exact detail of the offences. Intended plea. I intend to plead not guilty to any offence the state intends bringing against me. Defence. I have been informed of my right to remain silent at this stage and do not disclose the basis of my defence, which right I wish to exercise, safe to deny all the allegations levelled against me and to reserve the right to respond to whatever allegation the state may make during these bail applications proceedings. Submissions regarding facts to be considered where in deciding whether bail should be granted. I have been advised that the offence that I am being charged with falls under Schedule 5 of the Criminal Procedure Act. I am further advised that in considering whether to grant an application for bail, the court will consider the relevant factors listed in Section 60 of the Criminal Procedure Act. First consideration or section applicable is Section 64A, danger to public or individual safety. I respectfully submit that my release on bail will not endanger any person's safety. I do not have any disposition to violence and harbour no resentment against any particular individual or the public in general. I do not pose any danger to any particular individual or the community and have not displayed any inclination to commit violent crimes. Second one, Section 64B, likelihood of evasion of trial. I respectfully submit that this likelihood does not exist, giving my belief that I'm innocent of what I'm being accused of. I do not wish to evade my trial and live the life of a fugitive, and I do not have the means, financially or otherwise, to live the life of a fugitive. I will stand my trial with a view to clearing my name on any alleged wrongdoing. We can just add, Your Worship, that the state this morning has placed on record that they do not see her as a flight risk. Section 64C, interference with witnesses or evidence. There is no likelihood of me interfering with the witnesses in this matter. I undertake not to interfere with any of the state witnesses, even if their identity became known to me. I have no access to evidentiary material held by the investigating officer. I will also not interfere with the investigation of this case if I am granted bail. Section 64D, jeopardy to the function of the criminal justice system or bail system. Giving all the above considerations, I submit respectfully that I pose no danger to the function of the criminal justice system or the bail system. I have not furnished any false information for purposes of this application or after my arrest. 64E, exceptional circumstances which may lead to the undermining public order or peace. I respectfully submit that there are no exceptional circumstances which may lead to the undermining public order or peace should the court decide to grant me bail in this matter. Provisions of Section 69, the interest of justice in relation to the right of the released on bail. I respectfully submit that I will be prejudiced in the event of being further retained, in that the conditions in prison are most appalling. I am currently diagnosed with hypertension, high cholesterol, diabetes, palpation of the heart, and chronic back pain. I'm using prescribed chronic medication for my health situation, and I would not be able to receive this medication if I'm detained, which can result in that my medical condition can deteriorate or even lead to death. I also urge this Honourable Court to consider the period I am to be detained until this matter is finalised, and the fact that criminal trials can take a considerable period of time before it's finalised. Apart from the fact that the period of detention cannot be estimated with any form of precision at the moment, I request this Honourable Court to consider that I will not earn any income whilst so detained. I therefore stand to suffer considerable health conditions. I also urge upon this Honourable Court that should I be detained and refuse bail, that I would be prejudiced in the preparation of my defence. It's extremely difficult to consult with a legal representative inside prison, and I have no doubt that my continued detention will seriously jeopardise my preparation for trial. Other relevant factors to be considered, I respectfully submit that the interests of justice permit my release on bail, and that I am therefore entitled to be admitted to bail. I submit further that I am not a flight risk, and I am willing to abide by any condition the court may deem fit to impose. I once again accept the advice from my legal representative and respectfully submit that the state has not proved to this Honourable Court that it will be in the interest of justice to keep me in custody pending finalisation of my case. In the premise and taking into consideration the relevant schedule the charges resort under, I respectfully submit that the court should grant bail to me in an appropriate amount and with such conditions attached as the court may deem fit. It was then signed today on the 10th day of July 2026 and duly commissioned to issue. This is the case then for the applicant.
Actually, before I ask your client to confirm the contents of the certificate, can you just rectify the issue of the date of birth?
Certainly, Your Worship. Thank you, Bishop. It has been corrected and initialed by the accused and his assisted with the oath.
Mashazi, do you confirm the contents of this affidavit that your legal representative read into the report with the instructions to satisfy that the contents therefore be decided?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bishop. I will then ask that it be marked as an exhibit.
Now, Exhibit C.
Court is adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Exhibit.
Bishop, that is the case for applicant number 1. No witness further, and that's the case for the applicant.
Thank you. Ms. Mashazi, you may be seated. In regards to number 3.
As it pleases the court, Your Worship. Your Worship, firstly, we are indeed indebted to the court for the opportunity to present our case today. Firstly, Your Worship, we note that the state no longer opposes this application before you. We also note that the state's submission that accused number 3 is not a flight risk and that she is unlikely to interfere with the investigations.
Thank you.
Your Worship, that having been said, we would like to proceed on with the application. The application is contained in an affidavit, Your Worship, that we request the court that we read onto the record.
Thank you. Number 3, just rise. Ms. Gxasheka, I need to explain to you the provisions of section 1611, capital B, that there's a duty on you to disclose any previous convictions or pending cases. If you fail to disclose this information, or it's not truthful about it, you can charge for conviction, be sentenced to a fine of 2 years in prison. You understand this explanation? I can't hear you. Furthermore, if you have to testify during these proceedings, whatever you say can have to be used during subsequent proceedings, then it will be admissible. You understand that?
I understand.
Thank you.
Complaints, Your Worship. Your Worship, I don't know if Your Worship has been placed with a copy for purposes of following the proceedings. Your Worship, my learned friend says that then he will not be able to follow the proceedings.
That's fine. That's fine. All right.
I will listen.
Okay. Court places. Your Worship, I just note that I have made a mistake on the surname there, of accused number 3, and I beg leave to turn my back on the court so that she can just sign. Indebted to the court, Your Worship. I worship I request that you have the same just Your Worship. Your Worship, this is an application in the Magistrate Court for the District of Germiston, held in Germiston, and it's the matter between Linda Gxasheka and the state, the applicant and the state. I, the undersigned, Linda Gxasheka, do hereby state under oath as follows. 1. I am an adult female person and a South African citizen with identity number 750510084980. I'm the applicant in this application in which I seek relief from the above Honourable Court to be released on bail. I respectfully submit, as I will demonstrate herein, that the interest of justice permit my release on bail. I submit further that the dictates of fairness and justice warrant that I should not be deprived of my liberty any further. I'm the third accused in this case. The facts deposed to herein are within my personal knowledge, and I can and do swear positively to the truth thereof. Under caption Schedule 5, Offence and Burden of Proof. 1. I was arrested and charged on 8 July 2026 for offences of fraud and corruption, which constitute Schedule 6 offences as defined under the Criminal Procedure Act 51 of 1977. In terms of Section 60, bracket 11, bracket B of the Criminal Procedure Act, the onus rests on me to satisfy the court that the interest of justice permits bail. I therefore acknowledge the constitutional rights afforded to me, including the right to remain silent in the presumption of innocence. Therefore, this affidavit is made in compliance with that burden to demonstrate that I meet the requirements for bail. 3. This paragraph deals with personal circumstances and residence. 1. I reside permanently at 59A Van Linde Road, Bedford View, a property held jointly in community of property with my husband, Linda Gxasheka. Me and my husband have resided at this address continuously for the past 12 years. Prior to this, we resided at 3 Edward Lippert Street, Bruma, for 7 years. I hereby address the state's opposition based solely on verification of my residential addresses by undertaking to provide to the court, if required, verification documents which will include recent utility bills of both properties. I thus confirm my stable and verified residential history in line with Schedule 5 consideration. I now deal with family circumstances. I'm a mother of 3 children whose particulars are the following. My eldest child is 22 years old, currently attending university. My second child is 19 years old, also currently attending school. And I have a 4-year-old child who suffers from a lung disease and requires ongoing medical care. I'm the primary caregiver to our 4-year-old child who has been diagnosed, as aforesaid, with lung condition. I will submit as required by the court all medical documentation in support of my child's health, should the court require same, and my role as a primary caregiver, as and when the court requires, to substantiate my claim. I have no family members residing outside the borders of South Africa. I deal with the health and status of the applicant. I suffer from diabetes, and currently under prescribed medication for the management of the condition. I submit to the court any scrutiny of my medical history, my medical records, and prescriptions confirming this chronic disease and current treatment regimen. My financial status and employment. I have been employed as the head of department at Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Municipality since 2025. At present, I am suspended but remain residing at my current address during my suspension. I'm financially capable of affording bail and propose a bail amount of 20,000 rands. Proof of available funds and employment status will be tendered to the court on request to substantiate my financial capacity. I now deal with the passport and traveling documents. I hold an official South African passport which is currently held in the custody of my employer. I declare that I do not possess a personal passport or any traveling documentation. I undertake to consent to the surrender of the official passport to the court as bail conditions to eliminate any risk of abscondment. I now disclose my criminal history and existing proceedings as follows. In compliance with Section 60, bracket 11, bracket B of the Criminal Procedure Act, I affirm as follows. I do not have any previous convictions. I have no outstanding warrants. I have no pending criminal cases, and I've never been released on parole. I undertake that failure to disclose any previous convictions or pending charges is a criminal offense. I now deal with the proposed bail conditions and risk mitigation. I undertake and propose the following bail conditions to mitigate any risk and ensure appearance at court proceedings. I will be residing at the address 59A Van Linden Road, Bedfordview, during the bail period. I will regularly report to the nearest police station as and when required, if required by the court. I shall refrain from contacting complainants, witnesses, or any party related to the prosecution. And I surrender my official passport or any other traveling documents that the court registry immediately upon my release. I shall also refrain from any activity that may interfere with the administration of justice. The legal basis and ground for granting bail. I respectfully submit that it is in the interest of justice that bail be granted due to the following factors. I have stable, verified residence at 59A Van Linden Road for 12 years. I have a presence of strong family ties and dependents who rely on my care, notably a child with a serious medical condition. I have no previous criminal records, no outstanding charges, and compliance with this, and I have complied with my disclosure duties. I'm willing and able to comply with all bail conditions, including the surrender of a passport and no contact undertakings. I pose no flight risk given the surrender of the passport, long-term local residence, and family responsibilities. I submit that the above factors cumulatively satisfy the court that it is in the interest of justice, that the interest of justice permits my release on bail in terms of Section 6011B of the Criminal Procedure Act. I further wish to make the following undertakings before the court. I undertake to appear at all court proceedings as required. I undertake to comply strictly with all bail conditions imposed by this honorable court. And I also undertake to inform the court or relevant authorities immediately of any change in residence or contact details. I therefore make this prayer before the court. I humbly pray for an order granting me bail in the amount of 20,000 rands, and an order imposing any conditions as the court may deem fit, including but not limited to those proposed in this affidavit. Alternatively, that the court grants any further relief as the honorable court deems fit. Your Worship, this is the affidavit of accused number 3. It has duly been signed by herself and duly been commissioned. I beg leave, Your Worship, to hand same after the court has verified that it is indeed the signature of the accused that appears in this document.
Thank you, Mr. Gxasheka. You confirm that the affidavit that was read out by your legal representative is in line with your instructions. You satisfied with the contents thereof and that you signed it.
Yes, I confirm, just with the slight change, I
You can, your legal representative can approach you.
Court pleases, Your Worship, where the accused would like to correct the ID number. She says that the last digit is 3. It appears as 3 before me.
Can you confirm this, ma'am?
I confirm. In that case, Your Worship, can I hand this over as an exhibit? I think that would be exhibit D.
Receive the marking as exhibit D.
Court decision. That is D.
Your Worship, we shall not be calling any witnesses in respect of this application, and this completes my case.
Thank you, ma'am. You may be seated.
Thank you, Worship. Worship, I submit again that these deliberations are not opposed, as I stated that is it. Thank you, Worship.
Court will then rule on the application in respect of applicants 1 and 2. The court considered the provisions of section 60, subsection 480E, as well as subsections 5 to 11, specifically subsection 9. The affidavits handed in as exhibits C and D, the submissions by the state, and the court is satisfied that the interests of justice permit the release of accused 1 and 3 on the application is granted.
As a court decision.
As a conclusion,
Court pleases, Your Worship.
With regards to
The conditions decision.
conditions and amounts.
Thank you, Worship. Worship, the state, in order to safeguard the investigations, has the following proposal to the commissions. That each applicant, Worship, shall surrender all the passports or travel documents to the examining officer. That each accused shall not leave the country without the prior written permission of the investigating officer. That each accused shall not directly or indirectly communicate with or influence or intimidate or interfere with state witnesses, the bulk of our witnesses comes from the departments, that is the finance and the human resources, where applicant number 3 was heading. Each applicant shall report to the police station nearest to her, the same as the last one, that is every Friday, that is between 5 and 8 in the evening. That since we put it that choose the applicant number 1 easily changes addresses, that she notified the investigating officer in writing of any change of official address. Lastly, Your Worship, the state suggests the bail amount of 100,000. The accused in this matter, Your Worship, are the high profile beings, and they can afford to forfeit any amount that is small. That's why, Your Worship, I ask the court to also take into account that the charges they are facing, as for applicant number 1, involve 2 million in the total, that is the charges. And for applicant number 3 is 1.3, that is approximately. And they were occupying, Your Worship, the important positions in our community, dealing with the service deliveries. Therefore, the amount of bail should not be taken lightly, Your Worship, as a court decision.
Thank you, Mr. Exley.
For you, can I just approach? Thank you, Bishop. Bishop, I've heard what the state placed on record regarding the conditions and bail amount. I have no problem with the first condition, to hand the passport over to the IO. We are in possession of the passport and will hand it to the investigating officer as soon as this proceedings has been finalized, so it will be in their position today. The second one, Your Worship, that they will not leave the country without the permission from the IO. Clearly they cannot leave if the passport has been handed in, so they will have to apply to the IO, so no problem with that condition. Third condition, that they not interfere directly or indirectly with any state witnesses at the finance or human resources departments of the Ekurhuleni Metro. No problem with that as well, Bishop. We have not done that in the past and will not do it. That each applicant will report every Friday between 5 to 8. No problem with that. My client's nearest police station is Brakpan, so I wanted to make that she will report at Brakpan SAPS between this hours 5 to 8 in the evening on a Friday afternoon. Then the fifth condition, that she will notify the IO in writing if she intends to change any address. No problem with that, Bishop. That can also be made a condition. We now come to the amount that the state requests, Bishop. Now, Bishop, I've heard my learned friend's argument, but he totally forgot to mention that my client is a pensioner. She's only receiving a pension of 33,000 rand a month. So I might be just the overseeing from the state side that he forgot she's a pensioner. She doesn't have this high income which he placed on record to say she's still earning a high income. Now, you should considering her pension amount of 33,000 rand a month. The court has now been informed that she's on chronic medication, and we all know how it works with the medical aids. They will pay your medication, and then when your savings amount in your medical in your medical aid is out, for the rest of the year, it's your own pocket that gets affected. And this is exactly what my client, accused 1, the applicant 1, are currently on. The savings on the medical aid has depleted, and she must now pay for the chronic medication herself from end of July or during July till December. Only next year, when the medical aid is being renewed, the new savings will be effected. So we would take that into consideration. And she's got a household here, she's got a husband and a sister as well to look after the house, to pay for the house and all things like that. Bishop, I would suggest, let's take note, she's not a flight risk. She's a pensioner, she has a bike, she has not tried to evade when this matter was get known to her. She went to the Mlanga Commission. She knew immediately after the Mlanga Commission that these cases will be coming towards her. So she did not run away, she did not try to do anything. And the Bishop, I would respectfully request, and I suggest, that an amount of 10,000 rand would be sufficient for her in the circumstances. And therefore I pray to this court to consider that amount as a sufficient amount for her. She is a person who will religiously come to this court to clear her name from these charges. That is my advice, Bishop. I don't know what Bishop on any other aspect. Thank you, Bishop.
Your Worship. Your Worship, I think for starters, we must say that the state, in addressing the court, put it on record that accused number 3, my client, is not a flight risk. The amount, the bail is, the purpose of bail is to ensure that accused comes back and attends trial. They have already cleared that out. They say she's not a flight risk. They are sure that she will come to court, just as a foundation for our argument. Now, Your Worship, in respect of the proposals, the proposals for the conditions proposed by the state, the first condition is that our client surrenders her passport. In our case, Your Worship, we have placed before you that our client possesses an official passport. That is a passport that is being held by the municipality, the employer, for official traveling, and it is not in her possession. We've also said that she does not have a personal passport. Now, in that instance, Your Worship, we would request that that condition be amended to instruct the holders of the passport to either surrender it to yourself, but it should not be a condition imposed on her, because it might be difficult for her to comply with it, thereby interfering with her freedom going forward. We request that in respect of number 3, it be amended to say that the municipality should surrender, or rather that the investigating officer obtain that passport from the employer, the municipality. Proceeding on to the second condition, the third condition, and the fourth condition, Your Worship, our client, we have taken instructions, does not object to those conditions being imposed, and that will also include the fifth condition with regard to notifying the investigating officer in cases of changes of address. Your Worship, dealing with the bail amount, we have put a case to say that we are in a position to put forth an amount of 20,000 rands. And the sole reason why we are asking the court for that concession is that accused number 3 is a mother, and a relatively young mother with children to look after. We request the court to be lenient in as far as the amount is concerned. An amount of 100,000 as proposed by the state is not only excessive, but it's the state is asking the court to suddenly look at accused number 3 with a different lens from everybody else. And I would like for the court to plead with you, Your Worship, that you consider an amount that you are offering of 20,000 rands. And that shall then be our case in as far as the cost, the bail amount is concerned.
Thank you. Let me start with applicant number 1. We need only on the point of the amount. Yes, it is in her affidavit that she is on pension. And I see that in paragraph 1.55 of her affidavit says that she receives a pension amount of approximately 33,000 a month. You get to the next page, and when you see at 1.57, she says she is paying an amount of 8,000 per month towards a bond. Now you start thinking as to where does she gets another money, and then if you go down, you see the assets that she has, Bentleys that she owns with the husband, 2 Bentleys, the Porsche, and then you see that she has 5 million stashed in investment, and she can draw out into her that I can draw the same amount of 33,000 per month. So the way she has money, she can afford this amount. Coming to applicant number 3, it's first is let me reply on the condition that she hands over the passport, and then she's saying that she doesn't have any, and that the condition be amended. Because it's my assumption that that condition does not need to be amended. It's a general condition. If she has, she can submit, just send it over to the police. If she doesn't have, it's fine. But the condition should be there. Coming to the means, she is on the same bracket as applicant number 2 when it comes to salaries. Any more than 100,000 a month. Therefore, she can afford a record basis.
Mashazi, this is one aspect you indicate the nearest police station to the client is going to report to the closest police station.
Your Worship, can I turn my back? Your Worship, she will report at Bedfordview Police Station. Bedfordview Police Station.
Further proceedings.
We have a application on the date. We are suggesting to the court that on 8th of August.
28th.
Of August, yes, we just have that.
If I can confirm the date would be suitable.
And for what purpose? Mr. For what purpose? Postponement?
For further decisions, just polish up.
Confirm, Your Worship, the date has been arranged with us.
No objection, Your Worship, the date is suitable.
Mr. Worship, my colleague is informing me, who is a resident in this court, that can't we on that day also transfer this matter to the SABC court?
That is something that you can arrange amongst yourselves.
Yes. Okay.
Are we in agreement that the state can arrange for the defense if they're going to transfer the matter on the 28th of August.
Yeah, Your Worship, I've got no objection of the 28th one bringing an application to transfer to another regional court. I mean, that's, we all know that's how it's working. So there will be no objection if they bring that application to 28th.
Your Worship, what I understand is that on that date, that the matter will then be transferred. Yeah, so the certificate will be, then we don't have any objection.
Similarly, still no objection, Your Worship.
Your Worship, see, my colleague is mentioning something about the certificate that has to be obtained in order for that purpose.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That we can pre-arrange or make arrangements prior to court dating.
Because I'm not aware of this update procedure of the transparency side. That means that we can be afforded an opportunity to just get a brief adjournment, then get this, and then for the court to revise the judgment. Maybe also? Yes, also.
With all due respect, I do not understand. Does my learned friend want to transfer it now today, so that we then appear on the next occasion in the regional court?
That is the procedure I want to consult with the SCP as to what is the procedure they normally follow. Then I will follow suit what they are saying. That's what I'm getting from my colleague, that they are doing like that.
Your Worship, I'm concerned that if that is the arrangement, then arrangement may not have been made with the other court, and then we might just be coming here for, it might be a wasted time.
From my experience, the arrangements are made with, I don't know even what's going to be the forum. Are you going to transfer to regional court or going to transfer to high court? What is the situation? Can't that be resolved on the 28th of August?
Yes, Worship. Let's do that.
All four accused present their rights. Case is postponed to the 28th of August for further investigation. Bail granted in respect of accused 1 and 3 in the amount of 50,000 rand and on the following conditions. The first condition, accused 1 and 3, and in respect of accused 3, if she is in possession of proper documents, to surrender same to the investigating officer before close of business today. Condition 2, accused 1 and 3 not to leave the country without the written permission of the investigating officer. 3, accused 1 and 3 not directly or indirectly contact or interfere with state witnesses at the Finance and Human Resources Department at Ekurhuleni Municipality. The fourth condition, accused 1 and 3 to report to Blackpan and Bedfordville police stations respectively every Friday as from the 17th of July 2026 between 5 in the morning and 8 in the evening until this matter is finalized. The fifth condition is for accused 1 to notify the investigating officer in writing of the intention to change the current address. Accused 1 and 3, you understand these conditions? 1, 3. I also need to explain to you, if you fail to appear in court or you breach any of these conditions, the state can bring an application that your bail will be forfeited and you will be remanded in custody until this matter is finalized. You understand? 1 and 3? Thank you. Then, accused 2 and 4, I don't know if you paid bail already, but if you paid bail, your bail will be extended on the same conditions as was said yesterday. All of you to appear 8:30 on the 28th of August in the same court. You understand? Thank you.
As a conclusion. That is all. That is all the rest.
I know you.
What did Jan think? All right.
Yeah, so in Germiston,